السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وبارك وسلم. After the first pledge of the people of Medina to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that was on the year of 11 of Hijri, 11 before Hijri. So 11 years the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has already invited people, and that is when the pledge happened. The first pledge where 7 or 8 companions from Medina became Muslims. And after that, the Prophet ﷺ sent a Sahabi whose name is Musab bin Umayr. Musab bin Umayr. Musab bin Umayr is a young boy Sahabi in his age of probably 19 or 21. That is going on behalf of the Prophet ﷺ in Medina to teach people Islam. So this is the first ambassador of the Prophet ﷺ, the first ambassador of the Ummah of the Prophet ﷺ, the first representative. So he's going to represent our Prophet Muhammad ﷺ in Medina. And Musab bin Umayr is also the first teacher to teach people Islam. So he gets a big title. All the muallimin, the teachers of Islam, till today and till the end of times, they're going to teach people Islam. Musab bin Umayr take the rewards of them because he's the first one. Young boy, he goes to Medina on behalf of the Prophet ﷺ, and he starts teaching people slowly. That time is a very small group of people. We could count about 10 or 12 people who have accepted Islam. Medina is a huge city, it's a big city with a big population. So he has to work slowly with wisdom, soft, and invite people towards Islam. Musab bin Umayr is very experienced Sahabi because and very knowledgeable also. Young boy, smart boy, very knowledgeable. And he embraced Islam very early age. That was the favor that he had very early. He is from the 40 or 50 people the first 50 people who accepted Islam. So how lucky is to be such early Muslim in the hand of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. The story of Musab bin Umayr is good to mention. It is mentioned in all the books of the history. This great person is one of the top heroes of Islam. Later on, a lot of Sahaba, including Umar bin Khattab, Uthman, Ali, Abdullah bin Mas'ud, they will remember Musab bin Umayr and everyone, Mu'adh ibn Jabal even, and they will say that I wish we could be in the place of Musab bin Umayr. So they will remember, they will talk to others about Musab bin Umayr, because Musab bin Umayr, he was martyred in the Battle of Uhud, very young age. So he accepts Islam very early, in the second year that the Prophet ﷺ is inviting people towards Islam. Musab bin Umayr comes from a very rich family. Looks like his father has already passed away. They are two brothers. The mother is a very rich woman, the uncles, the grandfather, they're very big family and rich family. So Musab bin Umayr used to wear very expensive clothes, which is, not many people used to have that in Mecca. When we say expensive clothes, it's not like very fancy clothes, but at least very special style that people in Mecca will not have. They were not able to buy. So it's recorded that with that type of money, it was like 500 dinar. Just the clothes that he was wearing. With 500 dinar, he could buy, that time, 2 camels. And he's wearing clothes. He's using perfume. Whenever he goes, the perfume is so strong that will stay on that path, and people will know that here Musab bin Umayr has passed. So he was a very sensitive person, and he used to be known that he is a very special young boy. A lot of ladies on the street will see him and will say, I wish that my daughter get married to this man. Now this man becomes Muslim. and he accepts Islam with very sincerity. He goes to every meeting with the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ in Darul Arqam, secretly learning Islam. When his mother found, she threatened him that I'm going to prison you, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And the mother even tried to say that I'm going to not eat and not drink until you leave this religion of Islam. Leave. They never said religion of Islam. They will say the religion that Muhammad, the son of Abdullah, brought to. So leave him. So she will stay for 2 or 3 days without eating and drinking. Musab bin Umayr came to the mother and said, Mother, I love you so much, I care about you, but this is not going to work. I'm not going to leave this religion. This is a true religion. I invite even you to come towards this religion. So let her start eating and drinking. No, I'm not going to. This is not going to make me to change. So she started eating and drinking when she realized that he's not going to change. It doesn't work. So then they tried a few times to imprison him in the house. He escaped a few times. And another time they managed, meaning the cousins, the big family, they imprisoned him for many months. And he became very weak. And he now lost that type of luxury life. He's staying in a dark room and he's having limited food. But in that time, we don't know how many months or years, he still will do the prayers, will make tayammum, will do dhikr, whatever he learned from the Prophet. And he will recite the Quran. That's why the Quran was very strong for Musab bin Umayr. Then he managed to escape from that tribe or house prison. And he comes to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in a very poor condition, with very poor clothes, with patches, and very weak. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam feels sorry for him. And the Prophet ﷺ will manage to keep him hidden. And this is the time now when the people came and pledged to the Prophet ﷺ, and they requested if you can bring someone to teach us Islam. So Prophet ﷺ found that this is the best time for him to go to Medina. He will be safe, he will be having a good food, good life, and people will look after him, and he is going to teach them Islam. So now here we need to understand that the Prophet ﷺ is giving him big authority, a big trust. He's trusting on him that you're going to go before the Prophet to Medina for what? To prepare the city for the Prophet of Allah coming later. So this is a big, huge job. And to authorize and give this authority and trust to such a young boy that is only 21 years old, this is a big honor to Musab bin Umayr. That's why the Sahaba will remember him all the time and will say, I wish I was in his position. Such an authority. It's good to remember this here is that Umar bin Khattab radiallahu anhu asked the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There was a time before the Prophet conquered Makkah from Medina. Before he conquered, there was 1 year was open to anyone from Medina to come to Makkah to perform Umrah. So on that time, Umar bin Khattab asked the Prophet ﷺ permission. If you give me permission, I'd like to go for Umrah. Prophet hasn't been Makkah yet. So the Prophet ﷺ said, yes, you can go. So Umar bin Khattab, now when Prophet said to him, Umar, you go for Umrah and remember me in your du'as. So Umar radiallahu anhu said, for this sentence, the Prophet of Allah saying, make dua for me, remember me in your du'as. For this sentence, I am willing to sell all my life, all my wealth. The Prophet isn't requesting me, so it's such a big honor also. So Musab bin Umayr radiallahu anhu comes to Medina. He stays in the house of As'ad bin Zurara. This is a great Sahabi. He is an old Sahabi. Later on he will become blind. He will see but very weak vision he will have. There is a story of As'ad bin Zurara in the time of Umar bin Khattab, because he will live for long. Umar bin Khattab radiallahu anhu, when he became the Khalifa, the first order that he did is to take down Khalid bin Walid as the chief of army. because the Prophet made him chief of army. Abu Bakr made Khalid bin chief of army. Umar bin Khattab said, go down. You are not the chief of army anymore. Now, Khilafah is in my hand. I am the leader. And my order is you to go down. He didn't say him directly, but he sent Bilal radiallahu anhu. So he said Bilal, because he knows that Khalid will respect Bilal. Everyone respected Bilal. So Bilal, go to tell Khalid, from today, you are not the leader of the army anymore. You are just a normal soldier. And Bilal radiallahu anhu goes to him and tells that this is a hukam, order from Amir al-Mu'mineen, that you are not the chief of army anymore. And there is an explanation why Umar did that. So Khalid bin Walid radiallahu anhu, look the sincerity. You're having such a high general position. Most of generals, they will take down any leader and they will take over. That's happened over and over so many countries. The general became the president. This is so many of them. You can say the Egyptian right now, who is the president, is like that, and Musab of Pakistan, and so many. So Khalid bin Walid radiallahu anhu said to Bilal, first, I love you because you are the muaddin of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Second, I love you twice now because you are the messenger of the Khalifa, of the leader of the Muslimin. And I respect that. And the next day he never went in front anymore. He came at the end of the soldiers' lines. And Umar bin Khattab radiallahu anhu said, Khalid, you are a soldier, but not at the end. You still stay in front. They bring him in the front. And Umar bin Khattab made the leader Abu Ubaidah bin Jarrah, which was a little bit older in age, because Umar always liked a little bit older. He thought these young ones are very quick to do things, the old ones are better. That was Umar bin Khattab's thing. So now Asad bin Zurara, that's why the story comes up. So Asad bin Zurara at night time, he cannot see very clear. And Umar bin Khattab has similar style to Khalid bin Walid. If you see from behind, you don't know who is Umar or Khalid. Even the voice. So Umar at night time saw Asad and said, Assalamu alaikum. He said, Alaikum salam, oh Khalid bin Walid. Actually, it's Umar bin Khattab. So the Umar understands that he doesn't know it's me. He thinks it's Khalid. Okay, fine. So Khalid, you know, what Umar did to you, it's very, very bad. Very bad. Wallahi, I don't like it. He took out the power that the Prophet of Allah gave to you, Abu Bakr gave to you, and he made you a simple soldier. That's such a shame. So Umar now is listening all of this. Okay. So Umar said, what do you think I should do now? Should I revolt, protest, and take him out and kill him? Asad bin Zurara said, no, wallahi. This is what I feel. Now I give you my advice. You should stay and follow the leader order. When we say leader, not every leader. The just leader, the proper leader, the Muslim leader, the leader who fears Allah Ta'ala, and the leader who puts people first. And that was Umar, Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, Ali, Khulafa'i Rashidin al-Mahdiyyin. So he's saying that make sabr. Allah will reward you. Don't do anything stupid. Oh no. Make sabr. Allah will reward you. And may Allah Ta'ala help you. And doesn't matter, anytime you feel weak, come to me. This old man is there. Umar said, okay, thank you very much. Uncle, salam alaikum, alaikum salam. Next morning he brings Khalid, come here. After Fajr. Come Asad bin Zurara. They both. He said, what did you speak last night together? Now Asad bin Zurara said, how he knows? Because maybe Allah revealed to him. He's not a prophet. So the prophet, yes. So Khalid said, well, I didn't met him. I was far away. I didn't met him. 1 week, 2 weeks I haven't met him. And Asad bin Zurara, why are you lying? You're such a liar. We met together. So then Umar bin Khattab said, Asad bin Zurara, it was not Khalid bin Walid, it was me. And then Umar bin Khattab, shortly explained to people what happened last night and said, I wish I have a full room of soldiers like Asad bin Zurara. That's how obedient to the leader they are. So Khalid bin Walid, so that came the story of Asad bin Zurara. Now this old man is the host of Musab bin Umayr in Medina. And hosting, you get the reward. What Musab bin Umayr is going to do now? See, he's hosting him. He gets the reward for it. And he changed Sa'd bin Mu'adh. Sa'd bin Mu'adh is the person in Badr who will tell to the Prophet that we are ready to fight. A great Sahabi. Mu'adh ibn Jabal, Musab bin Umayr changed. Mu'adh ibn Jabal became Muslim because of Musab bin Umayr. Mu'adh ibn Jabal, Prophet ﷺ said, he is the mufti of my ummah. He is the leader of the scholars of my ummah in the day of judgment. All scholars that will go enter to Jannah will be led by Mu'adh ibn Jabal. And who made him Muslim? Musab bin Umayr. Who is hosting Musab bin Umayr? Asad bin Zurara, his old man. All this reward goes. So Musab bin Umayr prepares before the coming of the Prophet ﷺ in 2 years' time, nearly 400 families Muslim in Medina. Then the Prophet ﷺ comes. This is all the work. Musab bin Umayr shortly becomes shaheed in the battle of Uhud. He is holding the flag of Muhajirin. And the enemy, disbeliever, came and attacked his hand. Right hand is holding the flag. He got the flag with his left hand. He cut his left hand. Then he hold with remaining of his arms. Then he bit him there, and he hold with his mouth, with his teeth. Didn't want the flag to go down because the flag is the honor and also given by the Prophet ﷺ. So then he attacked him from behind, and he fell down. Another Sahabi got the flag. So Musab bin Umayr becomes shaheed after the battle of Uhud. Musab bin Umayr is buried next to Hamza radiallahu ta'ala anhu and Abdullah ibn Jahsh in Uhud. There are two types of graves. It's a big compound. So one is 3 graves at the front, and then about the other 75 graves at the back. So their 3 graves is Hamza radiallahu anhu, Musab bin Umayr, Abdullah bin Jahsh. So when Musab bin Umayr was, the Prophet ﷺ performed the janazah, the cloth that covering could not cover him fully, so they had to put grass in his feet to cover all his body. So there is no cloth to cover Musab bin Umayr. Such a rich family, and coming with using rich and expensive cloth, has no coffin to be buried. And the Prophet ﷺ is putting with his own hands inside the grave this young boy and saying, "Oh Allah, I am pleased with him. Oh Allah, you also be pleased with him." The Prophet is making dua. Umar bin Khattab on top of the grave saying, "I wish it's me instead of him lying in that grave." Making that dua, getting that dua from the Prophet of Allah. That's why they will say Musab bin Umayr was a very lucky young boy. And that is, Medina became from the city named Yathrib, became Medina city, Madinatul Rasul, city of the Prophet, and then was called Madinatul Munawwara till today. The city of light. Because why? From the darkness of the disbelief, lightened so many cities and families and tribes and people. Even today we are lightened by the city of Medina, their effort, and by the Islam that the Prophet ﷺ brought to us. May Allah Jalla Shanu